authority vested in me by the Senate of York University, I hereby confer on you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, admitto te ad gradum. Wonderful.
Chancellor, President, faculty and staff, honored guests, graduates and parents, ladies and gentlemen. The greatest honor bestowed on me today is the pleasure of looking round at each of you and sharing this unique moment in your life. Under every cap and gown I see, I know there is a distinctive story, your individual route to this day, supported by family and friends who celebrate with you. You are part of a unique graduating class. Every class shares a particular time and space, a set of experiences that will never be repeated. I am truly honored to receive an honorary degree from York University today. Thank you to all of the university community for making these ceremonies so memorable for all of us. And I think my remarks today will catch a theme from the Chancellor and the President. Each of us has a bundle of things in our hearts, in our heads, in our relationships, in backpacks and briefcases, on hard drives that we carry with us all the time, that are unique to us and deeply influence the choices we make in our lives. I'd like to touch on 3 of them, which is what they say lawyers always do. We pick 3. I'm pretty confident they're already in your life's bundle, but now, a time when you are looking forward, is a good time to pull them out and I think take another look. The first one to pull out of the bundle is empathy. Empathy is the act of trying to understand someone that we ourselves are not, something that is outside of our own lives. A colloquial form of empathy is to walk in another's shoes, and that is a very good start. But empathy is more than having an experience. It is about taking the meaning from that experience. To have empathy does not mean that we must accept, agree, or adopt another passion, a position, or an idea. It does mean that we can use the understanding we have reached, we can take it into account, we can make choices that will result in the greatest good for the greatest number. It is very hard, if not impossible, to be fair, to ensure justice, without first being informed. Our own experience and views are too narrow a frame for choices that affect others too. This applies no less to institutions and to governments than it does to citizens. The second one to pull from the bundle is engagement, both in the not-for-profit sector and in our democratic system. Interestingly, when asked about what keeps Canadians from volunteering more, many say it is because they have not been asked. So today I am asking you to try volunteering if you have not already done so. Volunteering, like education, will add quality to your life, and it will influence your views of life in Canada. Pick an organization that has an interest close to your heart, go with a friend, pick something straightforward to do, and keep sampling till you find projects and people that suit you. You know, that's what we did when we came out of university. It sounds very grand now, but it had a very simple, personal beginning. Stories show that less than half of Canadians volunteer. We can do better and reap the benefits individually and collectively. The third one to pull from the bundle, you probably saw this one coming, is equality. Equity, if you prefer, fairness, generosity, openness. They are all related concepts. Equality, and I'm talking about the Canadian version of equality, is at one and the same time the most abstract and the most practical of concepts. It means that to the greatest extent possible, we should each have available to us the basics for a decent life. Equality means that what some of us will need to achieve that is different from what others need. Equality means that public and private institutions have a role to play in the distribution of benefits. Difference is both the challenge and the answer to equality, but we need mechanisms in which we have confidence that will and that we can see will balance interests. I remember how I felt when I started my first full-time job after university. Of course, you're going to chuckle to know that that's in 1980, before most of you were born. Apart from relief and apprehension, the overwhelming feeling I had was of being on a frontier. For the very first time, women were a significant part of law school graduating classes, about a third, and we were competing successfully for positions in legal institutions, particularly law firms. We knew that the institutions of law and law itself would be changed by our presence and by our activism. This shift was not, of course, confined to law, and it continues today. And one of my great wishes for you is that you too will change the places that you join. I now understand that every class is on a frontier, that you are on a frontier, on a border between the old and the new, the settled and the unsettled, the seen and the unseen. You are crossing one of life's littorals, moving from the safer shore through ever-shifting waves and out onto the open sea. It is an exhilarating process. Education, we know, is transformative of individuals and inexorably of cultures and societies. This is why education is so sought after and so contested. There are those who seek to restrict access to it, who are today successfully restricting access to it, particularly for girls. Education and human rights are essential to development and to democracy. I hope that you will do whatever you can to support full access for education around the world for girls and for boys. I hope that you will insist that it be education like yours, open and tolerant. Human rights need an identifiable, ongoing, cross-party constituency in Canada, a constituency of citizens that can collaborate across groups and grounds, that has strong links to environmental issues, and that is prepared to be a political force, to keep in the political fray, to be at the table where choices about public goods are made. You can see before you today two great benefits you have: education and wonderful peers with whom to collaborate in ways that work for your generation. You do have to do it your way. With empathy and engagement, you will take equality, fairness to its next stage of development and influence. York's motto, which has already been stated, catches the spirit of this quest. Tentanda via, the way must be tried. Congratulations, all best wishes for today and the future. Take on the world and have fun.